This is our first week of kids space that we're going to do online. It's just going to be a short program together that we're just going to have some fun. We're going to have some games, we're going to have a story, and we're going to have a memory first. But first we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a game. So this game just needs a bottle, just one simple bottle, and we're going to actually challenge you to a bottle flip challenge. And we're wanting a whole family to take part, the parents, the kids. If you've got grandparents around the same house, grab them too, get everyone involved. And also you can find in the link, there's a chart that you can get. Nathan Drake is going to put something nice and fancy here. Boom. It's our challenge leaderboard, that every week there's going to be a challenge for you all, the whole family, to take part in. So please download it if you can, print it off, and you can take part in the challenges every week. So get your bottle and go to the fridge, go to the cupboard, grab a bottle, and let's see who can do the bottle flip challenge, who can get the most in 1 minute. Let's find out. That wasn't great. Hopefully you done a lot better than me. Hopefully you filled out your scoreboard. Let's keep this competition going. Fill out your scoreboard, and then each week as a family you can compete and see who the best is every single week. And then at the end you should have a prize in each home just for whoever won the challenge. But today we're going to start a new series all about Jesus. We've been looking at Jesus all year in Kids Church on a Thursday, so we thought we would continue this theme of Jesus, and we're actually going to look at his parables. And what's a parable? An earthly story with a heavenly meaning. That's what we're going to look at. Some of the stories Jesus told to teach us something. So the first story we're going to look at is the parable of the sower. And you can see behind me we've got some plants. Me and Anna love house plants. I'll give you a tour of the house plants in a second, but we're going to look at all the seeds that were thrown out by the gardener and where they landed. But here's some of our plants. There's our big one in our living room. Let's go on a wee tour. That was a lot of running. As you can tell, we love houseplants. And why did I show you my houseplants? Well, a houseplant starts with a seed and then it begins to grow, and that's what the parable of the sower is all about. It's all about the farmer throwing out seeds and seeing all the different places where they land, to see where they grow, how much they grow. So we're going to look at the parable of the sower. This is a parable Jesus tells in Matthew chapter 13. So if you have a Bible, you can look it up. But this is what the parable of the sower says. So a farmer went out to sow his seed, and as he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on the rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Others fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. But others fell on good soil where it produced a crop 100, 60, or 30 times what is sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. So as we can see from this parable, that this farmer is just throwing out loads of different seeds to see where it lands. And we can read that it falls on 4 different places. So the rocky place, some among the thorns, some on the hard path, and some on good soil. And you might be wondering, what are we talking about? Like, why are we talking about seeds, and why are we looking at house plants and all this here? But it tells us later in Matthew 13 why and what it means, what the parable of the sower means. This is what it means. It says, listen, then to what the parable of the sower means. Anyone who hears the message about God and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches it away. This is the seed along the path. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word at once and receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they only last a short time. When troubles or persecution come because of the word, they fall away quickly. The seed among the thorns refers to someone who hears the words, but the worries of life choke the word, making it unfruitful. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160, 30 times what is sown. And what does that mean to us? Well, our hearts are the soil. So we want to have good hearts where God's word will produce fruit in our lives. And we've looked at the fruit of the Spirit before: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So when we have our heart in the right place, when God gives us his word, it will produce fruit in our lives. Hopefully our hearts aren't like the other places where it's like the path, or it's like the rocky place, or it's like the thorns. But actually we want our hearts to be good. We want our hearts to be like the good soil, so that when we have Jesus in our lives, we produce good fruit. And how we can do that is to actually learn God's word. So this is what we're going to do now. We're actually going to take one verse from the Bible every week and learn it together. And hopefully your mums and dads will take part too. And the one we've chosen this week is Colossians chapter 2, verse 7. And it says this. It says, "Let your roots grow down into him." If you know anything about plants, they start as a seed and then they grow roots, and the roots is where they get all their strength from. They get the water, they get the food, they get everything that they need from the roots. So their roots grow down so that they can become strong. So it says this. It says, "Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness." So when we grow our roots in Jesus, we will grow strong. It says, "Let your life be built on him." And we've heard of the story. The wise man built his house upon a rock. When we build our lives on Jesus, he is a strong foundation. It says, "Then your faith will grow strong in the truth that you were taught." So we hear about the truth in God's word, and this will make us strong. And then it says, "You will overflow with thankfulness." So that's what we want. We want to continually say thank you to God, and thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes we come to God and ask for so many different things, but actually we need to remember to be thankful to God, because God gives us so many amazing things. So that's our first week over. What we're going to do as well, we're going to send some links down below, and there's going to be some songs that you can sing and dance to in the house. We're going to leave our challenge scoreboard, so but at the end of all this we can see who the real champion is in the house. And there's also going to be a link for the story of the parable of the sower. And we don't want you to forget this story. We don't want you to just forget about what we learned today, but actually we want to have a good heart, so then when we learn God's word, we will produce much fruit, because when our roots are found in Jesus, we will become strong. So today, be good for your parents, have fun, but sing along with the songs that we're going to link, watch the story, and beat your mum and dad in the bottle flip challenge this week. Have fun. These programs are only going to be short, they're only going to be a challenge, a story, and a memory first, but we hope that they're encouraging you, that they'll build you up in the truth. And we would love to see you sharing your challenges with us. We would love to see you maybe reenacting the story out, or even telling us the memory first. So please connect with us, share with us through Facebook or YouTube what you've been getting up to with our program. So we miss you, we love you. Hopefully you're having a great time on lockdown. Get your work done and stay safe.